The movie opens as a desperate father named Sean crosses the American border and heads to Mexico. It is revealed that his daughter came here for a holiday trip with her friend, but they never returned. 3 days have passed by since their disappearance, but the authorities haven't made any progress. Thus, Sean has taken it upon himself to find his missing daughter. Following a lead that he got from somewhere, he arrives at a dump site for vehicles. He sneaks into the property without permission and soon comes across his daughter's car. Sean anxiously gets inside and searches for clues, but doesn't find anything useful. In the next scene, he rushes to the nearest police station and informs them about his discovery. 2 cops then follow him, and they soon arrive at the dump site. However, Sean is taken aback when he learns that his daughter's car is not there anymore. He desperately tries to claim that he saw it, and even recites the number plate. But one of the cops, named Hector, believes he's fabricating the story. Sean is then asked to leave the property, as he barged in here without any permit. Later, he crosses the border and returns to his farm, where his family is eagerly waiting for him, but the moment he enters the house, they are left disappointed. Sean's eldest daughter is angry at him for not being able to protect her sister. He tries to console her, but she just wants to be left alone. Later at night, Sean has an emotional conversation with his wife Susan. She appears to be more understanding and tells him that it's not his fault. When asked about what he found in Mexico, Sean reveals that he came across their daughter's car. He didn't find any blood or signs of struggles in it, implying that the girls were kidnapped without any assault. Sean further reveals that the car vanished when he went to the police station. He suspects that even the cops are in on it, so he plans to visit the consulate general. The following morning, Sean is visited by one of his close friends, Max. Through their conversation, we get to know that both men are ex-military, and Sean was the colonel of the team. They were assigned to very dangerous missions, most of which required the total wipeout of criminals. Max offers to help his friend track down the criminals who are responsible for the situation. He even explains how he's going to brutally torture them until they stop breathing. However, Sean doesn't think this is necessary. Slow down, Max. And wants to resolve the situation as peacefully as possible. Later, he, along with the other missing girl's dad, heads to the consulate's office. The latter is aware of the entire situation, but he shockingly suggests the two forget about their daughters. He reveals that a deadly cartel rules this city, and they are notorious for killing whoever comes in their way. Just last week, they murdered some 37 people for intruding in their business. What? The consulate also reveals that a year ago, an honest cop was appointed here, and he tried to solve the cartel problem, but one night, several gang members barged into his house and gunned him down, along with his entire family. Ever since then, the entire police station works for the cartel, and no one dares to go against them. Upon hearing all of this, the two fathers become really worried. They inquire why their daughters were targeted, to which the consulate explains that the cartel is also infamous for human trafficking. He then apologizes and says he can do nothing in this regard. Realizing that no one is going to help, Sean summons the media and explains the entire situation on live TV. He also tells his daughter to be patient, promising to rescue her soon. The news is watched by millions across the world, including the leader of the cartel gang, Victor Garza. He does a bit of digging and learns that Sean is ex-military and that he received various medals for his bravery. Victor fears that Sean will come after them sooner rather than later, so he decides to take action. Later, he forcibly summons the 2 men who were responsible for kidnapping the American girls. They are none other than Hector and his accomplice. Victor chastises them for failing in their mission, as they've abducted the wrong target. As a punishment, he orders the immediate execution of the second cop. Hector is spared for now, but he has to help them bring Sean's head. Victor then instructs his right-hand man, his brother Carlos, to deploy some mercenary troops to Texas. He wants Sean and his entire family dead within 24 hours. He also wants to make a statement that anyone who messes with the cartel, whether it be from across the border or not, is going to pay for it. The very next morning, a large convoy of cartel members led by Carlos enters the United States through a secret tunnel. They appear to be heavily armed, eager to massacre the family. At the same time, we see Sean at his farm, hunting foxes using his sniper. As he tries to take aim, he suddenly spots the cartel vehicles heading in his direction. Alarmed, he quickly rushes inside the house and instructs his wife and daughter to hide upstairs. Sean then shoots at the enemies and manages to kill some of them, but he is eventually forced to take shelter when the entire gang begins firing indiscriminately. Elsewhere, a cop is about to have lunch when he receives a call from the station. He is told to check on the farm where several gunshots have been reported. Were they firing indiscriminately? Yes. Oh god, it's the cartel. Back at the house, the cartel members manage to break open the door, but as soon as one gets in, Sean shoots him dead. He then shatters plates all over the floor to track their movements. Frustrated by the lack of progress, shit, he's seen Home Alone. Carlos orders his men to go in separate directions. He also forces Hector Hector to head upstairs and search for the family. But this turns out to be a bad decision, as the isolated men are sitting ducks for Sean. He effortlessly takes them out one after another, while also making sure that his family is hidden. Sean also ends up capturing the corrupt cop Hector, who turns out to be a chicken. As the shootout intensifies, the entire house is riddled with bullets and dead bodies. Even grenades are being launched, making the situation critical. So Sean heads upstairs and makes his family leave through the window while he distracts the mercenaries. He eventually engages in a shootout with Carlos, but both the men play defensive and fail to hit each other. Meanwhile, the cop from earlier arrives outside the farm. He initially believes it's a case of domestic violence, but when he sees a man with his head blown off, he realizes that it's serious. Oh, El Chupacabra. The cartel members also spot him and open fire, forcing him to take cover behind his vehicle. One of the thugs then approaches him, but the brave cop surprises him by administering a headshot. With this, the cartel members shift their attention towards the cop, and even Carlos comes out to help. Taking advantage of the distraction, Sean slips out of the house and carefully escorts his family towards the garage. He shoots a few goons along the way, showcasing his impressive aimbot. At the same time, the gang finally takes down the cop, and now they can focus on Sean again. But our hero somehow manages to reach his vehicle and quickly drives away with his family. An intense chase ensues, with Carlos and his men firing repeated shots from behind. Sean skillfully dodges all of them, making sure his wife and daughter are safe. But when he realizes that his car's about to blow up, health bar's getting low, he thinks of an idea. He quickly speeds away and stops his vehicle at the side of the road. Then, when the thugs arrive, Sean shoots at them with the utmost precision. He manages to kill a few of them right away, including the driver. This brings their vehicle to a halt, and Carlos is now defenseless. As he lies on the ground, injured, he tries to act tough and gives Sean the usual BS that he's going to regret it. But when he receives 2 shots in his legs, he immediately reveals the whereabouts of his brother and the kidnapped girls. Sean thanks him by shooting him right in the goddamn face, ending his miserable life. In the aftermath of this incident, Sean becomes fearful for his family's life, so he sends his wife and daughter away to a safe place for the time being, which is what he should have done before. He then contacts his best friend Max and accepts his earlier offer for help. "We're gonna need some of that torture, you meathead." The latter arrives right away, and it seems that he has missed the thrill of these missions. Unlike Sean, who tries to solve matters peacefully, clearly, Max is a brutal assassin who takes great pleasure in torturing people. Even though they're up against the biggest crime syndicate in Mexico, he seems to be excited. Max has brought with him an arsenal of weapons and other machinery. He also has done some research on Victor's hideout in the warehouse where he keeps the kidnapped girls. In the next scene, the two friends cross the border and head towards the target location. They observe from a distance as Victor desperately tries to find the whereabouts of his brother. Turns out he's still unaware that Carlos has not only been killed, but he's also ratted on him. Then, without any further ado, the ex-soldiers grab their weapons and infiltrate the mansion. Using their supreme combat skills, they manage to take down the guards one after another. Victor hears the gunshots from his room and becomes frightened. He realizes that the Americans have finally come for him, and there's no way to escape. On the other hand, Max and Sean continue their onslaught. They appear to be overpowered, and none of the goons are even able to touch them. Even the head of security, a muscular guy, is gunned down like a measly little Jigglypuff. In the end, the two manage to reach the room where Victor is hiding. The cartel boss initially tries to act tough and boldly claims that his men are arriving. But Sean gets angry and beats the crap out of him while demanding to know the whereabouts of his daughter. When Victor cannot take the punishment any longer, he agrees to take them to the location. The three then get into a vehicle and soon arrive at the warehouse where the girls are kept. Once again, Max and Sean have no trouble killing the NPC guards. Then, our hero finally manages to locate his daughter, and they have an emotional reunion. Her friend is also there, alive and in good condition. Before the other thugs arrive, Sean quickly grabs the girls and departs from there, but the bad boy Max is not done yet. He came here for one thing, and he's adamant on doing that. He then pulls out his knife and approaches a bloodied Victor, ready to torture him. The following morning, Max arrives near a public shrine and places Victor's decapitated head there.
Call me Geralt of Rivia.
He seems to be satisfied by what he's done. Meanwhile, Sean and his entire family are finally reunited and back at the farm. To celebrate the occasion, he decides to shave his beard and mustache. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.